Hello, Coach Holmes here, and today we're going to be actually trying to get ready for the STAR test and just make sure that we actually get prepared. One of the first things we're going to do is basically distributive property and evaluating the expression as well as knowing different properties. So that way we get a little bit of practice, just try to keep it one specific subject, okay? Now, first off, we want to simplify this expression here. So notice that I actually have the 4 in front of the parentheses as well as the 6 in front of the parentheses, and there's x's and y's involved, okay? Well, the first thing I want to be able to do to simplify this is first, I want to handle the parentheses. I want to be able to deal with that first. So one of the first things I got to do is distributive property. Now when I distribute, I'm bringing the 4 both to the x and the y. And I'm multiplying both terms. So 4 times x is going to give me 4x. 4 times 6y, negative 24y. And I'm going to do the same thing with the 6. So distribute the 6 to both the x and the 3y. So I should get 6x plus 18y. Nothing happens with the negative 2. Nothing happens with the minus 2. So I'm just going to bring that down. And then lastly, what I want to be able to do is I got 5 different things, but 2 terms. So I want to combine what we call like terms. I want to combine like terms. Just think of it like quarters and nickels. You know, you don't want to put the quarters with the nickel if you're sorting out coins because they're not the same thing. You almost have to treat it like this is the x's are quarters and the nickels are y's. So for each x, which is 4x and 6y, I want to combine those two to get me 10x. And then each y, I want to combine them by saying negative 24 plus 18 minus 1. And this is for my y's, and the x's, I'm doing 4 plus 6, by the way. So negative 4 plus 18 minus 2 is going to give me negative 8. And they're y's, so I have negative 8 y's. Now I can't do any further because again, this is not, the quarter and nickels are not the same thing. So I can't go any further with this. So this will be my answer. So again, when you have terms that are the same, again, you want to combine them by putting them together, just like sorting out quarters, like quarters and nickels. Number 2, I want to be able to evaluate this expression. So imagine if x is negative 3, y is 4, and z is 6. Evaluate the following expression. So basically, I just got to plug in my values. I just got to plug them in. So for example, the x, I'm replacing this x with negative 3. And that's going to be to the 4th power. Negative minus 4, and I got a y. So I'm replacing the y with 4. Plus 3, parentheses, replace the x with negative 3, minus, replace z with 6, and that's going to be squared. Now, you could work it out in order operation, where I've handled the parentheses first, which in this case would be negative 9. So negative 9 squared. Then I work with the exponents. So negative 3 to the 4th, I mean, let me make sure, is 81. Minus, I can't do anything with these yet because there's no exponent, plus 3. Negative 9 squared is going to give me 81. All right, now I want to be able to multiply this. Okay, so I want to multiply from left to right. So there's nothing for me to multiply. I got 4 times 4, which is 16, plus 3 times 81 is 243. And I'm going to slide it over here. And now I'm going to add and subtract from left to right. So 81 minus 16 is going to be 65. And 243 added together with the 65 is 308. So once you plug the values in, it's just doing order operation, which is, remember, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, or add and subtract, and then add or subtract. All right. Another thing you can do is plug, and I'm going to color it in red, is to plug this into the calculator. It's exactly how this is. So, just to show y'all, I'm behind the screen, so I'm going to do parentheses. Let me make sure I got it centered. Okay. I'm going to do parentheses, -3 to the 4th, minus 4 parentheses 4, plus 3 parentheses. Sorry, I'm just making sure I got it set up right. -3 minus 6, close parentheses, and then a square. I want to make sure that I got it set up just right. So far, so good. And remember, with the negative, don't make this a minus. Make this a negative, which is this. Here we go. This button right here. If there's a minus sign in front of the number, you make it a negative. If it's in between the numbers, you make it a minus. Okay? And then I press enter. And I get 308. Okay? So that's just one way of doing it. You can put it into the calculator, or you just do order operations. And then lastly, we want to talk about different properties, okay? And which property goes where. So for A, notice that if I'm going from 3 parentheses x minus 7 to 3x minus 21, I got to distribute this, because 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 7 is negative 21. So that's a distributed property. Now, associated property is actually the second one right here, because the 2 and the 3 are associated with each other. So I'm just moving the parentheses around. That's all I'm doing. I'm just moving the parentheses. Commutative property is C. And the reason why is because I'm rearranging the order of this. Okay? Like instead of 6x plus 7x plus 8x, I just switched the 8 and the 7. That makes it commutative because, again, I'm reordering it. I'm just changing the order. And then 7x plus 0 equals 7x. That's identity property. Because anything plus 0 is just itself, right? Which makes it its own identity. It's the identity property. So these are the different properties we've been working on. So obviously on the first one, we did distributed property. We evaluated the expression and did order operations. So hopefully you guys get a better understanding of this. Good luck. Go ahead and get started on that worksheet. Take care.